to the game that never happened.
Yeah.
The Rucker Park game. It was
Blackout.
Team Joe.
Yeah.
Team J.
Yeah, I think it was
Team
Team
Carter.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
It was, you know, it's like, you know, we wanted Caitlin to play Juju. That's what we really wanted,
Right.
and that's what the algorithms was saying. So it was really weird that Juju and them lost because I could have bet my whole life that they were going to play each other, right? And so that's what happened here. You know, I had been at the Rucker, you know, for a couple of years. The park had fell off a little. And so once I came in there and I brought a team in, I started bringing all the NBA. You know, Steph Marbury played every single game for us for the 7 years I coached. He played every single game, never missed a game. And his brother Zach. And then so I was bringing AI in there. I was bringing, you know, everybody you could think of who was just turning it up. The only guy who never came, who's my brother, is D. Wade. D. Wade was the one guy I chased for 7 years straight who never touched the Rucker. And so that was around the time Kobe came out there, and rest in peace, Kobe. And so, you know, once I saw he had a team, I said, oh no, we playing the chip. Before I even seen him play, and I was mad because I had brought the park back to, like, you know, the audience, the attendance, everything. And they just strolled in, and you know, this man, I've been dealing with him in hip hop my whole life, and the guy, he just wins at everything. He got the baddest chick in the game, wearing his chain. He's the richest guy. He's the diss. I said, no, this guy tried really. Nah, so I got, you know, he stole one of my main players, John Strick, may he rest in peace. So when he says in the record, my homie Strick told me, dude, finish your breakfast. That hurt. That hurt bad, because he took, like, we used to call him the baby panda. Probably one of the most skilled big men I ever seen play street basketball. He should have been in the NBA. So he had that Vlade Divac. He had, like, the Joker. He was like the Joker. You know, he would pass, score, but he took him. And so every game I remember walking out the park if we won, and all of a sudden you hear the whole crowd go, and then I'm walking past and it's Beyonce walking in. Nah, it was out of control what was going on out there. They had dancers. They had a real tour bus.
They were doing the whole thing.
Oh, no, they was pulling up in the tour bus, the Jay-Z tour bus, with everybody coming out. And every day they had LeBron. There's LeBron straight out of high school. They had LeBron, Sebastian Telfair. Jamal Crawford was going crazy for them. I think Antoine Walker, a couple of them. But the night of the chip, 30,000 people outside of a park that should only fit 500. And no, there was lines for hours and hours down the blocks.
The Garden's 19,000.
Yeah, it was more than the Garden. It was. But you know, they would climb the tree. They would get on the bridge. They get on the rooftop. Everybody got to see it.
Yeah.
You got to understand. This is what I tell people all the time. This is how I used to recruit players to play, right? Because you're super rich. Why would you want to play in a street park and maybe hurt yourself or something? But I'd be like, yo, the kids that really emulate you, you got to understand, when you playing on Christmas, there's a kid that goes to the park right after you play and emulates your moves on snow, on the ice, trying to get nice. And so out there in the hood, they ain't got $100,000, $200,000 to go to the Garden. They just don't have it. So I would sell it to the players like, yo, come back to the hood, man. The kids really love you. They hit, and they would come. And so that day we went out there, and it was a blackout. It was crazy. So we out there, Jay-Z and them is out there. So it's a blackout. So there's no way to play the game. And so they go up on the radio. The only thing was working the radio, and they start talking crazy. Shaquille O'Neal gets on the radio, talking crazy. I'm like, for real, Shaq? Like, they just was like overhyped, and so they got me really angry at that point, and I was like really mad. So they scheduled the game again, and so we show up. So all my players, it was around the time where you had to check into the NBA. It was training, like it was like All the teams was calling their players back. It was the end of the summer. My guys stood. All my guys stood. They was like, you know, because you got to understand, you might, you know, it's the almighty Rock.
Right.
But then you got some guys that don't want the Rock to win too. I had all those guys, right?
Yeah.
So whether it was Zach Randolph, Steph Marbury, Jay-Z had just dissed him and said, yo, don't ask me like Marbury at the light. You could lose your life. So, boy, he was ready to go. And then Sebastian Telfair, we used to buy the guy Ghetto Chinese. That's Steph's little cousin. We used to go to Coney Island and buy him Ghetto Chinese and hang out with him, and he can't play for Jay-Z. So it was like really crazy. We had
Am I
Carmelo.
tripping for not knowing what ghetto Chinese is? Am I tripping?
You don't know what Ghetto Chinese
Yeah, you don't
is?
know.
Don't
Four
do that.
chicken
Like,
wings.
don't do it like you know either.
Yo, 4 chicken wings, French
Everybody say
fries,
this
extra hot
is a
sauce,
Chinese spot,
ketchup.
bro. They got everything.
It's a staple in New York. If you haven't had Ghetto
It's
Chinese,
like it's like carry out. You know how Chinese carry out? We call it
Chinese-
carry
I was
out.
sheltered, dog. Sorry.
yo, bro, Ghetto Chinese, you don't know what you mean.
I
Yo,
was
listen.
sheltered.
Mambo sauce, and they didn't have
Yo,
mambo
I was
sauce.
sheltered,
We,
You will lose your
Maryland
mind.
had
Do me a
mambo
favor, go
sauce.
to Harlem anytime and just go in any Chinese.
I was growing up
Get
eating
some 4 chicken
sushi,
wings.
sashimi,
There's
all
nothing
that.
like it.
you eat what?
I was growing up eating
Man, I
sushi,
ain't-
sashimi, all that.
Yeah,
I
nah, I
ain't
ain't
eat
that.
sushi till I was a grown. I eat it a lot now, but so we had the team. What people didn't know was at the same time, the USA was playing the Olympics. Remember, it was in New York. That was the time Carlos Arroyo in Puerto Rico had won. So I had Mike Bibby and Allen Iverson waiting in the hotel on 57th to come up to the game after the first quarter. So we was.
What year was this? Like 04?
I don't know. I'm sure they could find it out. But
Anyway.
but
03.
03.
and so we showed up, and they didn't show up on the makeup game. And I think rumors are that their players had to go back to Chicago, had to go everywhere. So we was on the court for like 3 hours, and then finally, rest in peace, Greg Marius. He said, if you walk out of here, you win by forfeit. I was upset. I stood in the park for 3 hours, and then we just walked out, and that's how we won. My team didn't have to play to win the championship, But it was that was
Lyric.
yeah.
Just quick. Just quick.
Yeah, and so that was the game that never happened. They kept trying to get it to happen like Madison Square Garden, Barclays, or whatever the case, and we was like, nah, we got to do this on the concrete. We got to take it to the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was amazing. It's a legendary story.